right. So I also found this in Goodwill, and it was sealed, but I opened it because the box looked like someone had dropped a pallet on it. It was like flat, but
Nice.
I ironed it out with the iron and squared it up again. But you can see how it's like
Awesome.
crunched up real bad. But still, it was a pretty cool thing to bump into.
Very cool.
I have this on disc, but I'd thrown the box away. It's a pretty shitty box too. It's really thin and just kind of crappy.
What year is it? About 94, 95?
1996. Yep.
That's cool.
I love Hexen, man. Hexen's a kick-ass game. I don't know that I ever got around to playing this because it's really freaking hard too.
It is.
So
It's very hard.
I'm not sure. I'm just not sure that I ever got around to playing this. I did push the broadcast button, so don't say anything that you don't want broadcasted. By the way.
I was about to ask, when did we go live? I didn't realize we were live.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. Also, I picked this up. This is another $1 pickup. This is the special edition SimCity 2000. This was a good find.
Oh, I got that new. That's a very good
Is that
find.
an iridescent box? I'm
It's
sorry.
gold
It
plated.
is. It's like all holographic and fancy. It's a little rough looking, but you know it's better than nothing. Is it backwards to you guys? Because it looks backwards on mine.
No.
Fine.
No,
Okay.
no, it's right way around for us.
It says
See,
there's an
now I'm feeling
exclusive
bad
interview.
for not buying the two games I saw on the weekend. So I clear up my shelves.
That's
Well, unless I find something that actually is I need in the collection. And I'm not Joel, and I will not buy anything for $1.
I got lucky because apparently someone just took a massive dump of like big box games on a Goodwill right before I got in there,
Aw.
and this was the same one that LGR shops at. So, yeah, he's gonna be missing out on much of
He was
stuff.
at the beach, that's why.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
He was. He posted a video last night.
That's why I found the stuff.
He's
Because he
spending
was at the
China
beach.
money.
Yeah, because he didn't get there. It does say there's an exclusive interview with Will Wright on here, and I'm curious about that.
Well,
I'll
you
probably-
need to be talking in your Duke Nukem voice then, in that case, since that's the Goodwill you found them from.
Yeah.
No.
Let's see, what else do I got here?
Were you live when you showed the Loom and the Monkey Island?
No, I probably should show that again.
Yeah, you should.
Those are really cool.
Now
It's a
another
repeat.
episode of Big Box Thrift.
Previously on Big Box PC Game Collectors, I had a sealed little Monkey Island thing. It's software tool works. On the front here it says the software supplied as part of a hardware-software bundle may not be sold separately, yada yada yada. But that was just a cool thing to find in a Goodwill.
That's incredibly cool.
Just up on the shelf too, back with the crap.
That's
And,
the second coolest OEM release I've ever seen.
And I also found a Loom, which was part of the same deal with the hardware-software sticker on it there. But I don't know what I'm going to do with these yet. I don't know. I mean,
I think you
one of the
should-
things. I mean,
You
I
should
could sell.
autograph the shrink wrap, and then you should sell them.
I could sell them and buy myself box copies because I don't have box copies. But this was an interesting find at the same Goodwill, and this ties into Stuart's, and I'll give him a plug here. The Slash video that Stuart made. Check. I'll put a link down in the description if you're watching this after the fact. I'll put a link to his video on Stu's reviews about Slash releases, and I was surprised when I found this, which looks like just a normal everyday game, except for the printed sticker should be a clue. But this was a Slash release, which was crazy. But what was cool about this particular box that I got is it was full of other stuff.
Is it a two-piece box?
Yeah, it's in a two-piece box, which is crazy. Sometimes I wonder if the Slash guys didn't just get a bunch of boxes that the original game company had left over or something, which is possible here. But
There's a wide variety of what you get, just because sometimes they do pick up like leftover components from the original. Sometimes they make their own.
but
Depends.
it is curious that the sticker part's printed on, so that almost leads me to believe that this was reprinted or something. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. But was the game on 2 discs. But what was curious about it was there was this couple of random like CDs in here. But there was a couple of other Slash games in here, which was really bizarre. Let me pull them out. And they're little white envelopes, as we all know. But there's some game called, what's this? Solar System. And it was in the white envelope with a bunch of manuals and stuff.
Neat.
I've never heard of it. It's 1995. DSR Inc. is who made the game. I'm going to install it and see what's on
I
it.
had something called Solar System, and it was literally a simulation of the solar system.
Sort of like Galaxy, what's that game? Galaxy Sandbox or something like that.
I seem to recall it being not very interactive, but
Weird. And there was also this Winter Challenge by Accolade, which was another Slash thing, with the crappy photocopied manuals. It's just weird. Sometimes in these big box games, you find them in Goodwill, they just have this bunch of weird stuff in them. People just put shit in the boxes and forget about it.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, one thing which I didn't have in that prototypical quote-unquote Slash release was that white envelope. That's really prototypical. You see that in almost every single Slash release, that white envelope. I don't know, like...
I mean, I grabbed these and I was like, I didn't know they were Slash until, like you said, I opened the box, saw that freaking white envelope, and I was like, yeah, it's Slash. For sure.
So have you played Loom ever? Or do you just not own it?
I haven't. I've never played it. I remember seeing ads for it in magazines and stuff when I was younger, but I never got around to getting it.
It's an incredibly good game.
Yeah, you must play it.
I'm tempted just to hang on to that one, but you know, I don't want to like be one of those guys who posted on eBay and is like, it's super rare and $2,000, you know. But,
Well, you could fill it and then get the box version that has the cassette, because the cassette's pretty cool to listen to also. While you're
There's also a box version of the CD version. It's harder to find than the OEM version.
Is the audio from the cassette on the CD?
The CD version comes with 2 CDs.
Yeah.
One
One's
is
the
the
audio.
cassette audio, and one's the game. Oh, by the way, the OEM version I don't think comes with the CD. I could be with the audio CD. I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore. It's sealed, so you can't look.
I don't have.
I'll have to
Monkey
check
Island.
my edition because I don't think I had the audio. I don't think I had the audio CD. But my edition was kind of odd, so I'll look through that. It was one of the first Lucas games I ever had, and it may have come
you're right.
as one.
All
I
right.
mean, is this the same user manual that comes with the box edition? Because I don't have it.
It's the same user manual. So those OEM releases were both released in box versions by Software Toolworks, and they're both pretty fat boxes. That's the official CD release, basically. So that box, you'll get that manual, but in the original Monkey Island disc release, the manual is different.
Okay, I got you.
That's also that CD version of Monkey Island. The big thing about the CD was, one is they put on audio, like music. There was no speech, but all the music was on CD audio, and then also they have 5 different languages of the game that you could play. It's like figs basically in English. So the original release obviously didn't have that, so that's the differences. That manual is also multilingual.
Interesting. Very
All
cool.
right, I got something to show. If anybody, can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is a copy of Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri, and it comes with a good story. This came from a donation from EA because Origin Systems actually did the play testing on this and did the distribution through EA. But it's autographed by Sid Meier,
Oh,
as well as Brian Reynolds.
so awesome.
Now, as awesome as that is, it's sealed, and that's wonderful, but I had some people over to the Origin Museum years ago, and they were hanging out and having a good time, and where the crossbow is behind me, it's on a post that holds the second floor of the house up. On the other side of that post is my Ultima Online sword. Well, one of the guys was kind of crowding around the box to take a look at stuff, hit the sword fell down and punched a hole right in the top of the darn box.
Oh god.
So my sealed autographed copy has a big giant hole in it.
Yeah, but that's called Providence, right?
That's exactly what it is. If I take a magic marker and write the guy's name on the back, it increases the value by 20%.
You know what though, Joe? In my opinion, that would actually increase the value because who else has a box that's been damaged by the Ultima Online sword?
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
You know what? I actually found somebody else who has a UO sword. So I know that at least 2 were sold. It's like nobody bought it. It was at the EA store, and nobody bought the damn things.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks for coming, KG. She's gone.
Well,
So that's the ultra rare Ultima Sword copy of Alpha Centauri. That's $10,000 on eBay. ultra mega rare. Yep. Since we're on the topic of signatures, thanks to my good friend, and he's both my friend and my arch nemesis, Stuart, I think. He's like, you know that old saying, keep your enemies close, and Stuart's like my arch nemesis. I keep him as close as possible. But I do have I've posted this in a group, but I haven't showed it on video yet. The Pillars of Eternity thing with the signatures on it, which I'm going to open this. I'm going to open it on the camera, I think, and go through the stuff, because I think there's supposed to be a sticker on the bottom. And
on the top,
maybe. There's no stickers on here. I have no doubt in my mind that this is a legitimate seal, but since you can't prove it to anybody, I'm just going to open it. Take a look at the stuff.
Here's on the box itself.
Yeah, they put a sticker on the outside of the seal, like it says like POE collector's sign or something like that, like it's a SKU. Because there were so many people that backed this game. They had so many signed copies, I guess. Not to diminish the rareness or the coolness of it, but they had more than you'd expect. So they actually signed a whole ton of them. Then they shrink wrapped them. Most of these things, like for Wasteland, in order to sign it, they unshrinked it and then they signed it. So anyway.
So what's the significance of this? If it doesn't have the label on, what does that mean?
It's just a tell, is all. It's just something that, it's like a price sticker or whatever that you can just tell immediately that it's not a reshrink. It's whoever got this probably just took it off,
But if it's if it was a direct sale, it wouldn't have it wouldn't be a reshrink. It might not have that sticker.
No, the direct sales.
I got this on eBay.
The direct sales did have the sticker. That's the thing, but it's just an anomaly. It's like Joel said. It's probably just it fell off or someone took it off for some reason, but. It's just unusual, that's all.
So where does Stuart come into this?
He said Stuart is like a eBay bloodhound, right? He sniffs out. He snarfs out the good deals. He's a good guy to know. He's a good guy to know and hate. But he sent me a link to this thing, so I was happy with that.
It's too bad I have more time and more money. Then maybe I'd become a reseller, but. He really would have liked it.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop this sucker open and play with the stuff though, and I don't even know what's in here because there's no like sheet on there that tells what's in it. So, And the game's not included, by the way. If you ever buy one of these, the game is not in there. The game was shipped separately than this box. So.
Yeah, I don't remember what's in there, but I remember it's good stuff.
Yeah, I'll plug stuff. I don't care. I'm never going to sell it or anything, so it doesn't really matter. Pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of new stuff that I just picked up, like very, very new. Like this one came in the mail yesterday from Amazon. I know some people don't care about new stuff. It's only like old, but this is a new game that just came out. Agatha Christie, the ABC Murders. An adventure game based on Agatha Christie. They used to, Adventure Company used to do these, and now Microids has the license, or Microids, the French company, also really Anuman Interactive. But this really just came out. Just when I see this, like I always cringe. It's like you can't buy a box game these days without having the stupid Steam thing on it. And I need to. Let's put it this way. I'm going to find another way to deal with this because I just can't take this anymore. Here's another example. I bought this game. This also came out in 2016. Lego Marvel Avengers. Now this one you see actually has a ESRB rating. I was able to buy it from Amazon US. This one I had to get off eBay from the UK because they didn't publish it in physical form in the US, not the PC version anyway. But then you get it and it says, requires internet connection and free Steam account, blah, blah, blah. All right, fine. So my son really wanted to play this game, and I spent, I want to say, like 10 hours installing it. Because first, you have to install it, and then you have to go through the Steam BS, whatever. And then it says, okay, we're copying all the 5 gigs of files off the disk. Now let's take another 5 gigs of files off the internet. And my connection's not that slow, but I think their servers are not that fast. And it's just like, whatever. So he was like very disappointed, crying, whatever. And that's just one issue that I have with it. But the much bigger issue is that I have no faith whatsoever that in 10 years that server's going to be running. Steam seems like really great today, and it's doing really well, but in 10 years I bet you it's going to be gone, and this game may not be playable. And I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait and hope that like Valve, right before they go out of business, releases patches for all these thousands of games that are on their Steam service at this point. They probably will not have the resources at that point to do that. So, like I said, some other solution needs to be figured out, in my opinion, in the short term. And that's something that I'm interested in at this point.
Well, isn't Steam already in business for 15 years? Wow.
Steam has not been around for 15 years. Maybe Valve's been around for 15 years, but not Steam.
But Steam launched the Steam service launched. It launched alongside Half-Life 2, so whenever it's been around as long as Half-Life 2 was around.
Which is 15 years, I think. Wow.
15 years for Half-Life 2?
Yeah, isn't it? Or 10. That's.
I can imagine.
Well, 10. I know that Elder Scrolls Oblivion is 10 years old today, so.
Wow.
Not.
2004 to Half-Life 2, so I guess it's 12 years. Oh, it's 11 and a half years.
Yeah, but you're right. Like in 10, 20 years, it's not going to be there. At least not in the state as it is today. I think the only way how to do that is GOG. Like, you can download the game offline. If Steam will in future make it available as GOG, okay, like we remove all of the DRM, we are closing the shop, download the game and save it somewhere. That would be the only outcome.
Half-Life 2 is 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I don't have any confidence that like right before Valve's about to go out of business, they're all of a sudden going to spend a lot of effort on making sure that their games work without their Steam service. To me, this whole thing is crazy. It's like you buy a physical copy, it should work. Like it's one thing if they want to say if you want updates, if you want support, you got to install Steam. I shouldn't have to install Steam just to get it to run. And then even if you make me activate it with a key, I shouldn't have to be forced to download patches. That's ridiculous. If it doesn't work with what's on the code here, I mean, if this wasn't recorded, I would say more. Put it that way.
It kills me to say this, but I totally agree with Stuart.
That's right. But how many games we have today, you know, when they are released, you have day one patches, and the games doesn't work with them, without them. So this is kind of a problem of the whole industry, not only.
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
we are rushing out games that are not ready to be released. So.
But you see, I'm okay with a. I'm not okay with a day one patch, especially if it's like 10 gigs. But if it's a day one patch and I can at least download it and store it somewhere and archive it and have it, on my own computer and keep it somewhere, then that's a hell of a lot better than me be relying upon their service to push it down to me.
Yeah.
And then, like, again, 10 years from now, the service is not there, the game just doesn't work at all. And this is not just like an academic thing. This is stuff that's happened with other games in the past where you just can't play them anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
like I would love to see Dark Sun Online, which was one of the first online games ever made in mid-90s. I have seen 4 pictures out of it, but like I love the whole Dark Sun world. But it was an online game. There aren't any servers. It doesn't work. So
I could see Valve. I don't know that I don't see Valve as a company going out of business in 10 years. The sort of thing that I could see happening to those folks is like the games that are available now, they deem as not being profitable enough to keep serving, so they start freeing up bandwidth and hard drive and server space and just get rid of them. You know,
Yep.
that's a very real danger that could happen.
But the sad part is that is where the hacker community comes in. And they'll end up saving it. They'll end up archiving it. Might not be legal, but they'll all do it.
So you know what's ironic about that? What my reliable sources tell me that the hackers don't care about patching the physical releases of the games to make them work. They just distribute the whole freaking thing online, the whole game. You go to torrent and you download it. So if you want to completely pirate the game and download the torrent, then right now, if you want to do that today, you can. But if you want to get a patch for your retail game, it may not exist. And 5 years from now, if you want to go download that torrent, the torrent probably won't be there either, because these hackers only care about the latest and greatest thing that's out there. They don't care about preserving. So, in general.
Yeah, but then you have additional groups that take care of the archivation. Like, they are taking what the hackers did and, store it. I know there's a lot of groups like that out there, too.
Yeah, I got to disagree with that, Stuart. I mean, to be perfectly honest, right now you can get any and every game you want, and it's out there on the internet, patched or not. There's multiple versions of every game out there, with the exception of some of the rare text adventures, or even those, because where do you get the text adventures for our playing? I mean, the proof's in the pudding. 30 years ago, those games weren't even thought of to be backed up, and here we go. You're able to pull them down from just about anywhere, so I wouldn't worry all that much. I understand your frustrations, and they're completely valid. That ticks me off too. But I don't think you have to worry about longevity in regard to that.
Joe, to counter a little bit, as I'm doing the list of all FMV games ever released, not every single one is available, and believe me, I looked everywhere and spent months doing it. So.
You find stuff that hasn't even been released yet. You find stuff that even the creators didn't know was made.
That's different, but yes, there are also games that were released, everyone knows about them, but they are not archived anywhere. But I'll find them. That's a promise.
Give us an example. Give me an example.
Oh, Jesus, I can't think of one right now. It's just... I would have to go over my list. I really don't know.
See, I think that these hangouts should help with doing something like homework. Somebody saying, I am looking for this game. We need to find it. It needs to be preserved. To be able to maybe get Brano some leads to go somewhere to go find this particular game. We're not going to buy it for him, of course, but, to actually find a game and go, I know where it is. I think that will be a nice little addition.
Just back on the digital distribution shitfest, Steam is nowhere near as obnoxious as Ubisoft's what's the name of that? Uplay, whatever the hell that thing is. I remember the Heroes of Might and Magic 7 shit fest that I went through with that thing. And I was on technical support with them, and they recommended that I uninstall Uplay and reinstall it to get the game to show up on my list. Whenever I did that, and by the way, most of Ubisoft's games require Uplay to function, so keep that in mind. I uninstalled Uplay, and lo and behold, not only does it uninstall Uplay, but it uninstalls all the games you have installed. Okay, so this is multiple 50 gigabyte downloads on my slow ass DSL that are just gone. Right, all my save games gone when I uninstall Uplay. Right, so they're just freaking toast. And I was so pissed that I yelled at that poor lady on the phone, who I know she has nothing to do with, Uplay or how the thing functions, but that's freaking evil. That's that's just some evil. That's just evil right there, man. I tell you, I'm glad that at least Steam doesn't function like that. At least if you uninstall Steam, it doesn't uninstall all your games.
Yeah.
And you can move them around and stuff.
So let me show another game I just picked up recently, which is the anti-Steam. I don't know if I would call it that, but I subscribed to the IndieBox, so they sent me their latest game, which is Lovers in a Dangerous Spacetime. I don't know if you guys have heard of this game or not. It's an indie game. I guess the premise of the game, if you can see on this screenshot, is like, it was a glare, but you see that orange like sort of thing there that's in the middle of the screen? So that's like your ship, and you fly around the galaxy in the ship, but there's little rooms inside the ship, so you're not controlling the ship directly. You're controlling these two little guys who live inside the ship, who are like running up and down ladders and going like from the gun to the shield generator to the propulsion system. And I think you can play, it's local co-op, so it's like two different guys. And then you're supposed to be flying around and fighting these enemies, but it's like that game. It reminds you a little bit of that game QWOP, where you try to control the guys by controlling his individual limbs. It's something like that. So you're really controlling the ship from the inside, and it's like a popular indie game. So it's a good choice that they picked it up for an IndieBox. However, I get a little bit frustrated because I subscribed and basically in December. This is the second game I received, but they've already they're about to ship the third game, and so far all three of those games have been like basically shooting games with lots of bullets, like almost like bullet hell type games. I mean, this one's a little bit different; it has like a little more complexity to it. But at the end of the day, it's all like shooting stuff, and I wanted to get something different too. Like at least maybe if it was a first-person shooter. So anyway, but this is a cool system, a cool package, obviously. And if you ever heard of it before, you might as well check it out. Everything is DRM free, which is really nice, and then they give you a bunch of like nice collector's items and things like that. So anyway, I wanted to give them a plug too.
I really want to subscribe to that. It looks really cool.
Yeah, and it's not that expensive. It works out like around $20 a box shipped at the end of the day. Maybe a little bit more because they just raised the prices, but it's reasonable. Yeah. And the last thing I picked up is actually something old, which is Realms of Arcania 3, shrink wrapped. I picked up 2 last week, but it was a reshrink because there was a sticker underneath the shrink wrap. We figured that out. This one I think is an original shrink. One thing I noticed is that someone bored like a hole in it. I don't know what the deal with that is.
I have a shrink wrap copy of that too, that exact game, and my copy has a bored hole in it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think I don't know. Mark actually mentioned that in Facebook group. I don't remember the guy's surname, but he said this is actually a deliberate thing, but I don't know why.
Yeah, because I've seen he mentioned about messing up the barcode or stuff like that, and I've seen that too. In terms of they mess up the barcode to show that it's like a bargain item, and you can't return it to the publisher or whatever. But in this case, it's not a barcode; it's just like a random spot in the box. It could be something like that. I don't know. It just was a little bit odd.
They used to do that with record. They used to do that with record albums back in the day. They would have a punch out that basically is to not be able to send back to the manufacturer and prove that it was one that was to be sold as a discount.
Yeah, that's
They
what it
could
is.
also have been like a salvage situation. Like there's a ton of like Shadows over Riva shrink wrap copies out there for some reason, and they seem to have punched holes. And I don't know if it was just like someone found a warehouse of games that didn't pass inspection or something. Like the machine punched a hole in them, and you know they just
There
ended
was
up
a mouse problem.
yeah, some chewed a hole in it, mealworms or something. Worm. Yeah,
Some creature ate all the inner contents. It's gone. And it's going to start moving to your other pieces in your collection.
Well,
that hole is through the shrink wrap too, right? Both.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's that way on mine too.
Is it on both sides?
No, just on the front.
Because they had a problem getting through the CD or the floppy?
I don't know. It's in the corner, so hopefully there's nothing there. But I intend to open it very soon and probably even film it because this game is not worth really too much. But in general, I want to take some videos. Like if people have these unboxing, I want to do unshrinking. Just to like upset people who love keeping their games sealed.
No, you're not doing that. You have to talk off camera.
No, like it drives me nuts how people get so obsessed with the shrink wrap. So games are meant to be played, dang nabbit.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't you dare do that.
Do it. Fucking do it.
And play that one because I played the shit out of that game back when it came out. It's a good one. I
think we should have a Drash unboxing.
We already did that.
We did that already.
Table saw.
We're talking about damaging the contents, just the shrink wrap, man. It's just plastic. I don't know if you noticed that. It's like clear, see-through plastic.
It's a sin. I'm Catholic. I know what I'm talking about.
I should like open this right in front of you, like.
Yeah.
Is it okay to open new games from 2016, or is that like bad also?
That doesn't matter.
Oh,
there was something in another group that I thought was weird, and I made a post on it, and they'll probably see this and get pissed off, but I don't care. But there was a shrink wrap copy of a console game, and this was something new that I hadn't encountered yet. And a store was selling the shrink wrap game, and they had put a sticker on the shrink wrap, and these guys were freaking out because someone put a sticker on the shrink wrap, and I couldn't wrap my mind around why that was. Like, all of a sudden they've gotten to the point where they're like obsessing over the quality of the shrink wrap or something, but it didn't make any sense because you can just take the sticker off. It's not, you know.
It was a shrink wrap?
Yeah, it was a shrink wrap copy of Zelda. So it was N64 Zelda. It's
weird.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, as obsessive as we are, the console people take it to a whole new level. In my opinion, stickers on the shrink wrap, as long as they're not obscuring the entire front of the box, I think that's a good thing. And it is provenance, like Stuart said. Because sometimes you can go look at stuff and go, oh, well, look at that. It was $24.99, or, you know, the price kept getting reduced as you go down. And it tells the history of the piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's annoying is stickers not on the shrink wrap. That's annoying.
I agree with that. The bane of my existence.
Here's a pickup I got that has a sticker that's not on the shrink wrap that I actually think is pretty cool, and it's not something that's maybe very common, but I found Sim Life at a thrift store, and it has a...
Oh, wow!
What are we seeing here?
Another review copy. Not for sale.
And it looks completely complete, like everything's in it. I don't have another box of this to compare it to, but I mean, it has a huge fat manual and all the inserts and 3.5 and 5 1/4 discs. But yeah, I found it at a thrift store for like $3, and I'm like, yeah, that seems pretty unusual, so I picked that up.
They are unusual. And my Ultima I has one of those stickers on. I had a conversation with Joe about that, and he said, Joe, I may be misquoting you here, but you said something about some game stores like Babs's or something would stick those on there sometimes.
Sometimes, that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
But I think that adds to it in a way.
It does. It's just another neat little provenance thing like we've been discussing. It's just interesting.
And I know this game is super common, and everybody has a copy of this, but I got this in a bundle, and I already have another copy of this too, but this one actually did come with an adventurer, which you don't see a lot of adventurers in these, but it also came with, it has the discs and whatnot, but it also came with this Star Wars X-Wing The Farlander Papers booklet, which I've never seen on any copy that I've ever looked at of this game.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it?
It looks to be kind of like well, it says Pilot's Handbook, and it looks to be just kind of like an overview to the entire game, and like.
So it's not a clue book?
Not really. It might be. I'm gonna have to do a little more research. I just didn't know if you guys ever seen anything like this before.
According to Wikipedia, the Farlander Papers is a companion book found only in the limited edition version of X-Wing,
Yes.
the original floppy disk-based release.
Nice.
Contained a short story,
Yeah, it's like a
bunch
story.
of stuff.
And it also came with Adventurer. I forget which one. Let me see. Oh, 5. And you didn't see a lot of adventurers in this box. And then also, you see a lot of these just the discs, but this one I found the full box of. Maybe not something super crazy, but I thought it was pretty cool. So I saw it for $5 at a thrift store and I picked it up.
Apparently,
It says here.
The cheap as chips. You could get them for 99 cents, and then they got a little expensive.
Oh, these Yoda stories, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it got trashed by reviewers and no one bought it. So,
Well, it's a cool box.
yeah.
Mhm.
It says here that X-Wing, the limited edition had special packaging. Is there anything about the box that's weird or?
Let me see. Let me compare. Let me grab my original.
That's so interesting because I didn't up until right this moment I didn't even know that existed.
This is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never seen it. So comparing it side by side, the front. Oh, I want my original.
Well, there goes 10% off the price.
No, my
Super rare drop by Erik version, $2,000.
There you go. The box on the outside is identical except for the labels. This one is the one I just found. This one is the original. So just a little bit of difference on the label there.
It's probably like a Frankenstein situation then, where they stuck it in there.
Well, there's definitely more content overall, though, too. It has like the Prodigy card and a registration card and a subscription for the Adventurer. And, I don't know.
Well, so what? Can you show what you're seeing again that makes it a limited edition? Because I missed that.
Well, I don't know what makes it a limited edition besides the.
Where does it say limited edition?
It doesn't.
Oh.
That's just what Joel was saying. The only
Just
difference
different contents?
Yeah, just the contents and the labels are slightly different. This one is the supposed limited edition as compared to the original.
Now, are those stickers on there?
I have to wait and figure out which is which. The original one I had was not a sticker; it's printed on. This one is a sticker in the.
Yeah.
Flash. No, I'm joking.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So the reason I got up before I was going to find. I have a game called Demon's Winter by SSI, which is a review copy. It has a sticker on it, but someone wrote like in big letters under the words "Demon's Winter" sucks. I don't know if that was the reviewer that wrote that or somebody else. So, but I couldn't find it, unfortunately.
It's all the review that you need. Right there. Super rare Demon's Winter sucks version. $5,000.
Sorry, I don't know if I cut you off there by accident.
Now, when I come in here, every time I come in here and we start talking about big box, I'm always reminded of looking at those console videos of people coming up with their topics, and it's just two guys in a room or three guys all talking about stuff. And I got to admit, the stuff that goes on in here, I like a whole lot better because those guys start getting into ridiculous stuff. When they start saying rare version, they're dead serious. And we end up just having a good time with it.
I think everything that we deal with is rare. I mean, if you think about it, for the most part. I don't think X-Wing is particularly rare, but by the way, Eric, I can't find anything that would show that there's any kind of different packaging than what you have. So I think you've got a limited edition copy there, whatever that means.
Yeah, that's cool. Kind of unusual. I also got a couple other things. Finally, I'm building out my Ultima collection. I think Stuart probably already knows that. But I finally got my other super prized possession with the coins.
Does it have the coins?
The coins. I don't buy things without coins.
Yeah, you're good. You're a good man.
Huh?
64?
Oh god, you can't hear Stuart at all.
I think he asked if it was for C64.
Yes. Yeah, I'm doing C64 all the way up until 6, and then I've switched to IBM from 6 onward. But I cannot find 6 because I refuse to buy a copy of Ultima 6 without the damn runestone. I'm not going to do it. So I don't have 6 yet. So.
6 used to be super common, like, around.
It did.
I don't know why there doesn't appear to be as many on eBay these days.
Because I bought them all.
Damn it, Joe. Yeah, none of these have the stone with them.
There's one Amiga version on there right now that's overpriced from Germany that has a runestone, but I'm not gonna Frankenstein one for that much money.
You get the limited edition. You can't get the regular stone. You get the limited edition with the, I'm not joking now, I'm joking right now. Limited edition with the super hand-selected stone. Joe knows what I'm talking about.
Stuart will go out in his driveway. He'll get you a stone, no problem.
No, I'm serious.
It's funny,
The style version of Ultima 6 that has supposedly stone that was hand-selected by Richard Gary.
every time I'm in a thrift store or something, I'll just flip through the cassette tapes, hoping to find one of those cassette tapes. Someone's stuck in a cassette box somewhere, you know.
What, the Gary one from 6?
Yeah. Hasn't happened yet. You'll be the first person to know whenever I bump into one out in the wild.
So when you post this video, the picture you have to use for the video is the look on Eric's face right after he learned about the limited edition Ultima 6. That's going to be the cover picture for this video. You have to use that.
Yeah, man, I wish I could hear Stuart right now. I can't hear you, Stuart. It's pissing me off.
He's busting your chops. He's implying that you're going to rush out and buy a limited edition Ultima 6 now that you know that it exists.
No, I already knew about that. But I keep about finding one of those. The ones with the cassette.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever even seen one for sale, so I don't know where you didn't even buy one if you wanted one.
Yeah, exactly.
They do pop up about once a year on eBay.
Do you have one, Joe? Do you have a limited edition?
Are you kidding me? Of course I do.
You have like 10 of them?
He has like 9 sealed Ultima 1. Of course he has them.
Hand selected. I've heard they look exactly the same as the regular one. I don't know if it's a copy of the limited edition. That's what I've heard.
I think it's signed. I think it's then Richard Garrett signed the front of it.
Also, they
That would be the easiest part of it to forge if you were an asshole, because you could just go to any convention that Richard Garrett's at and get him to sign a copy of Ultima 6 and you'd have it.
Oh my God! Yes.
Oh, it's got more than one signature on it.
Yes, it has both Richard Garriott, Lord British, and Dennis Loubet.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, you got to start with the big guns, don't you, Joe?
I actually found out how they packaged the originals.
Oh.
So I replaced everything and put it back the way it was when the game was brand new. So there's the cassette right there on the top, along with the Moonstone. And what's cool is that this is called a limited edition Moonstone. I got a feeling that they ordered a whole bunch of stones, and they got different kinds. So the one that they had the least amount of, they put in the limited edition box. This is actually translucent. I think this is the Commodore 64 version, and there's 550 million discs in the box. 1, 2, 3, there's like 8 discs. You know, but that's that.
Is that really Commodore?
Say again?
Is that really Commodore? They had a Commodore version of Ultima 6 today.
This is an original, yeah.
It's a Commodore version?
I didn't know that
Yeah,
came.
it's the Commodore 64 version, I believe.
Uh,
No, it's not. No, it's not. This is a 5 1/4 IBM.
yeah, I think the special edition only came in IBM, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I see. Well,
I don't know that for sure.
this actually came from that is mint sealed. It's the only sealed copy of the game the limited edition game that I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
That came right from Origin, so I'm very happy. I know it's original shrink.
Punch a hole in it.
Yeah.
I don't even live it.
Go ahead, let's do a unshrinking right now, Joe. Rip that sucker open.
No, that's like flaying someone.
Of course, you have an open one already, so why the hell would you do that? But still.
Correct.
Those are beautiful, Joe. Those are
Have you
awesome.
listened to the cassette tape?
Oh yeah, I have, and it's great because it is dead obvious that cassette was literally recorded on Richard Garriott's desk, where they just took probably a Radio Shack tape recorder and hit the record button with the 2 buttons and said talk into the microphone. I mean, it's so low quality, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, they just turned them loose, huh?
Yeah, and it's terrific because of that. You can hear music in the background in the intro, and it's obvious that they're playing it off the computer behind him. It's really funny.
That's incredible. One of these days, maybe I'll own that, but I don't. If I have to buy it outright, I doubt it'll ever happen.
Yeah.
So you know for sure that only the limited edition came out for the IBM?
No, I don't know anything about Ultima for sure. I mean, no, that's just all I've seen is IBM for that. So, no, I won't ever say I know anything for sure because there's a lot to this stuff, but I've never seen anything but IBM for that.
I could be wrong. My memory is sometimes faulty, but I don't think they had a Commodore version of Ultima 6 at all. I mean, Commodore's pretty much done by then. You can hear me?
Yeah, your sound is messed up like super bad. It says here that primary. This is off of Ultima Codex, which there is a link to on our channel, by the way, if you want to go there. Says here that primary development for Ultima 6 was moved to an 8286 based IBM PC with VGA graphics. There are ports for the 16-bit Amiga and Atari ST computers. There is a port for the Commodore 64, which, despite its age and increasing limitations, still commanded a sizable percentage of the home computer market at the time. Interesting. Yeah, I've never seen one for the Commodore 64 ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've never seen a copy of it.
The thing is, and this is why I'm in my collection, I'm switching it to IBM at 6, because you'll even notice limitations with Commodore 64 at 5, where there's no music unless you have a Commodore 128. So at 60, for Ultima 6, it's complete. It's almost like a different game. It's so limited. They really stripped it down a lot to make it even playable. And the IBM version is much, much nicer as far as the playability, graphics, music, etc. So
I think Joe was trying to show us that his video's not working, unfortunately. I can't really see anything. I see some blur.
that's the Commodore version. Mm-hmm.
How about that?
That's the Commodore 64 version.
That's got to be not common, because I sure don't see them on eBay very often. Apparently, it came out a full year after the PC version came out.
And there's my sealed copy.
Beautiful. What's different sizes?
So what?
They almost look like they were different sizes. Probably camera angle.
Hey, Joe, you're listed on the phone book, right?
Those are beautiful.
I'm sorry, Stuart. I can't understand what you're saying, bud.
Can you hear me?
No, you're all garbled up. I don't know if you want to try like
I'm trying to
quitting and
Joe
coming back or something. Yeah. Well, I got one on you, Joe. I've got a GT Interactive re-release of Ultima VI. How about that?
I do not have that.
Oh, really?
No, I don't think I do.
Oh, I was just fucking around. I didn't.
No, I think I missed that.
Is GT Interactive like a subsidiary or a slightly different name, or what Slash used to be before Slash bought them? Like it's a budget release, right?
Yeah, they were just doing the same thing Slash was doing, I think.
Okay.
Just publishing stuff.
What's funny is that when I started collecting, I skipped all those little ones in my search for getting all the rarities. And as a result, there were many of the cheaper versions that I never got a hold of, and then they became the rarer ones, and you can't get them now. You can't get a good GT Interactive version of Ultima VI. Well, you can get them, but they're expensive now.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better now, guys? Or
Yeah, you sound great.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you consider expensive, Joe?
Over $75.
Oh, fair enough, because I saw it on eBay today that was like 125 or something like that.
Yeah.
The GT one, I paid $10 for mine.
Really?
In my opinion, that's how much it's worth, but other people will disagree with that.
No, that's why I bought it, because I was like, well, this is fairly priced. It's about what it's worth. But I just think people price it up at $100 because they don't know what it is.
Some people are paying for it, apparently. I don't know. No, what I was trying to say before, and you couldn't hear me. I was just asking if your name and your address and phone number are listed in the phone book.
I have his address. I mailed him a Christmas card last year. And you're muted.
Now I can hear you. You're muted.
Oh, you're
muted. He's speechless.
I have his address and
I know exactly who is responsible. So you kind of did yourself in, Stuart. Joe, you can rob me blind. It's all going to be on Stuart now, you see.
I was talking about the white pages listing. I didn't say anything else.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know what kind of sick mind you have, like to think you would steal.
He wants to send me a gift. He wants to send me that worm in the hole in the box of his.
Oh, here's something else I got. Whoa. Uh-oh, I better not drop all my crap.
I don't know, every time you drop one, the value goes up by $500.
I got the actual release of the Complete Ultima VII.
Oh, nice.
Non-release version.
You also, because I remember me and you talking about it, you also have that Serpent Isle version too, don't you?
Yeah, I have Blackgate and so I'm actually I got my Ultima, main Ultima, and a lot of the Ultima Online's pretty much almost done, except for Forge of Virtue, Silver Seed, and Ultima 6 at this point. So now I just need to build another shelf because, as you can see on my shelf, it's already crowded, and I need to make my Ultima shelf. But yeah, I figured, like, I already got Drash, so I might as well, build everything else around it. At least a main line of stuff and online,
Yeah, you started hard and got easier as you went.
Yeah, so not so bad, not bad.
Ultima 1's got to be the second hardest one to get, if only because every time there's one on eBay, the bidding is just insane.
Are we counting a Calibeth?
Yeah, Calibeth's pretty hard to get too.
Yeah, I don't know if I count that one. It's I guess technically.
The nice thing about a Calibeth is it doesn't actually say Ultima on it, so I can feel consciously like, okay, not having it as part of my Ultima collection.
It wasn't until he re-released it he put Ultima 0 on the intro screen, so I don't know how much that counts.
Yeah.
Is that actually on there in one of the Calibeth releases, or is that only the Ultima Collection?
It may just, I don't know. It may just be on the Ultima Collection for all I
That's in the
know.
Ultima Collection.
Cool.
Which is also, if you want to collect the first Calibeth release for IBM PC, that'll be the Ultima Collection.
That's interesting. I never really thought about it that way.
That's how my crazed brain works.
The only copy of Ultima Collection that I have is the one that came with the Ultima IX Dragon Edition. I don't have a box copy of it.
Yeah, that's what I have also, but it's the same thing. Just CD's the same. The box obviously is different.
No, it's not. It's not the same. It isn't the same. No, it's not. Actually, to be perfectly honest, the Ultima Collection came in 2 different types of boxes if you bought it separately from Ultima 9. And one of them is a gatefold sleeve, and that commands much higher prices because it was the original release.
Yeah. That's something to store in the old brain bank. I didn't know that.
Did it have like one of those styrofoam, not styrofoam, like Velcro closes on it?
Yes, it did. Well, I don't know if it actually has the Velcro, but it probably does. Let me see if I have it on my shelf or if it's lost in a box somewhere.
Here, Joel, I'm gonna link you this. This is where I get a lot of my info from, besides Joe. I think I can use that.
Is it that Ultima Collector's website?
Yeah, it's super. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that website is why I was watching a copy of Ultima VIII that was in the CD-ROM, that one with the gold bar at the bottom. It's apparently the most rare copy of Ultima VIII.
It's a good website. I use it as well, but I wouldn't assume that it's like 1,000% accurate.
Right.
No, but it's the best resource I have.
Yeah,
except for
it's pretty
Joe.
darn accurate. It's damn close. What do you mean the gold bar?
Yeah, I'll show you one. I was just watching.
Oh,
one
you
today.
talking about the band down the bottom?
Yeah, it's the big box. It's the Ultima 8 with the flames. Big box with the gold bar at the bottom. It says CD-ROM Classics on it.
Gold box CD-ROM Classics. That was the one that nobody wanted because that was the re-release.
Exactly. Who wants that? Who cares if it's rare?
Nobody
Let it be
wants
rare.
it.
But it wasn't rare back when it first came out. Everybody was like, there's millions of
It's
those.
not like super rare now. I don't think there is a rare copy of Ultima 8, but it's the most rare one. There's a difference between being the most rare one and...
There's a rare copy of Ultima 8, and I have it.
Well, of the obtainable copies of Ultima 8.
Correct.
Yeah, it's somewhat rare. Not really. It's not rare at all. I don't know why I'm talking about it. I'm not going to buy it. It's fine.
Is it as rare as that Jurassic Park game? Could we do like a whole like hangout just about the Jurassic Park game, about how it's not worth anywhere near that amount of money?